The levy, which was approved at a little over $15, ultimately will settle a little bit less than that, about $14.78. And again, that's a function of the district's need for cash to fund its operations. The fact that it is going up is probably symbolic of the fact that for the last six out of the last 7 years that the state supplemental aid that has been passed on to the district has been less than 2%, and obviously our expenses climbing at a faster rate. There was a period of time in 2011 through last year where the levy was slowly brought down. And then again, that was the district's fulfilling its pledge to say we won't levy money we can't spend. So again, with our spending authorities literally moving up less than 2%, didn't have a need to accumulate a lot of cash. And so then we subsequently reduced the levies. But every time we reduced it, we reminded people that there would come a day where we would need to replenish those and probably grow those. And I think the fact that the supplemental state aid has been so low 6 out of the last 7 years has probably exacerbated that. In a normal, if we were something closer to 4%, let's say, my guess is you would see a flattening out of that levy without the need to raise it. But again, we continue to raise only what we need and aren't building any cash balances that we can't spend.
Okay. And then also was wondering if you could talk about the approval tonight of terminating the administrator contract, the reasoning behind that.
Well, I mean, the rationale is not new. We started that conversation 2 months ago, and really when we challenged the superintendent to help us find a reduction in our ongoing operating costs to the tune of $3 million. We did that with a kind of a overlay of requesting that those reductions take place as far away from the students as possible. And so the superintendent and his staff have done a very good job of kind of articulating exactly where those reductions would come. And we've reduced 13.8 positions at the forum, which accounts for a little over $2 million of that $3 million reduction. And included in that was reorganizing the leadership in the district, combining some responsibilities. We combined special education, which this contract represented on a standalone basis, with our Director of Student Services. Those two positions have kind of been rolled into one. And therefore, the other administrative position that was also eliminated through the organizational policy approval that was done 2 months ago was an individual who also qualified for early retirement. And so that person opted for the retirement package. This individual wasn't eligible for that, so this tonight was just the final step. If they're not eligible for retirement, we need to specifically terminate the contract.